Hey, hello, welcome. I'm Stormo. And just as soon as I click that button there, we'll be ready to rock. I've got my glass of lemonade, and I've got peppermint chocolate. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna do more Horizon Zero Dawn tonight, and I promise very much that I'm not going to get salty and rage quit like I actually kind of did a little bit last night. I feel a bit bad about the Bloodborne stream last night. I didn't really rage quit, but after what happened, after losing the cleric beast, I just, oh boy, my interest for the game just went completely. It was terrible. Anyway, let me just type some things into the internet here. There we go. Okay, that's that done. Yeah, I've done everything on... I'll do another one on Twitter as well, just to get people interested. Okay. Remember to type my URL correctly. That looks good. Let's bugger that off. Go there. Right, well, here we go. Let's flip that around to that so I can actually see the game. And yeah, let's continue now. Yeah, last night was Bloodborne, and you know, if you were there, you saw it. If you watched the VOD on YouTube, you saw it. I mean, I didn't get angry or anything. It wasn't hilarious internet comedy. It was just someone suddenly having a moment in a game where they realised that they weren't enjoying themselves anymore and giving up for a while. Which, in some cases, I apologise for the crinkling noise. Let me just get some chocolate out here. In some cases, I think that's actually, the best thing to do. If you're not enjoying yourself anymore, don't force it. Don't keep pushing. I'd rather, for me personally, as a streamer, and I'm just starting out. I don't have a lot of viewers yet, but I'm hoping to get more. But for me personally, as a streamer, I find... I'm just going to skip that to the top. There we go. I find that it's often better to cut a stream short, or even if I'm doing YouTube videos, how I used to do them. I think it's often better to cut a recording session or a streaming session short than it is to just force yourself to keep going if you're just not having fun anymore. So I'd rather do a 1 hour stream of Bloodborne where I'm having fun and then stop having fun and stop the stream, than a 2 hour stream of Bloodborne where for half the stream I'm clearly just not interested in playing the game anymore. So that's how that happened. Anyway, this is Horizon Zero Dawn, a game that I have not stopped enjoying since we started. I love this video game. It is easily one of the best. Aloy is one of my favourite video game characters. And we're going to remind ourselves where I was up to. Oh, and I have a skill point, but I don't want to spend it because I want to go down... Am I going for dodge prowess? I think I am. Yeah, we'll get these two, so that's what I plan to do. I remember now. Okay, so we were looking at going to Blood on Stone. Now, we've got a couple of things to think about here. The Heart of the Nora is the next story quest, and there's not many story quests after that. There's like one or two after that. But the Into the Frozen Wilds quest, which will take us into the expansion, is... Pardon me. Is... level 30. Now, my general process for doing quests is 99% of the time I try to do the lowest level quest and then work our way up. That's how we've been doing it all game. That's how I want to continue to do it. But there's going to be a point where, and we haven't hit it yet, but there is going to be a point where I might have to do Into the Frozen Wilds before I do a main story quest, even though it's a higher level, so we'll need to think about that. But I think for the moment, yeah, Harder Than Oil will be the next story quest, but for tonight we're doing Blood on Stone, which is a quest we've actually had for a long time. I picked it up the first time we came through Cut Cliffs. Am I going alright? No, I am not. I went the wrong way. Yeah, we picked it up first time we went through Cut Cliffs, so we're gonna do that finally now. And one of the reasons I held off on doing this quest for a long time is because it does involve taking down one of those rock breaker creatures, machines, so yeah, we're actually, I mean, it's probably going to be this week or next week, and I might bump the number of episodes of this I do up to 3 for the foreseeable future rather than the 2 that I've been doing the last few weeks. But we're not actually all that far from the end of the game now. It's going to be maybe 1 or 2 more weeks. Let's say 2 or 3 more weeks, probably by the end of this month. We will be done with this game. It's not going to take much longer. So I'm just going to grab some medicine, because I really need medicine. And hello there, is that Nay Games? Hello. Yeah, so I'm going to I have chat beside me, but I don't look at it as regularly as I should. But there we go. Anyway, yeah, after this I'm seriously considering doing, I've been contemplating a few different games. Bloodborne obviously isn't going to be one of them. Neither is Dark Souls 3. But I have been thinking about doing, well, I was tossing up between a couple of games. Part of me really wants to go back to do The Witcher 3, which I did as a YouTube Let's Play a long time ago, but I never finished that LP, and I had a lot of issues with frame rates and stuff with the recordings in those videos, so they look pretty rough. But the problem is that those issues would still be there if I streamed it as well, because I'd have to play it on PC, although, actually no I wouldn't. I have the Game of the Year edition on PS4, so I could play the PS4 version of The Witcher 3, but of course that's playing the console version. The Witcher 3 is a game that I think you need to justify on PC. It's also a massive game. It's 100+ hours, so it would be many months of streaming to get through it all, which is fine. That's not my problem. But thinking about it more, no, that's fine, that's fine. Oops. Oh, I didn't change the stream name. Thank you for reminding me that. I will do that right now. I forgot all about it. I went through the whole process of changing everything else and forgot to change that. What part of this? I think I was like part 20. Hang on, I'm actually going to check YouTube. Thank you for reminding me that. I forgot all about it. But yeah, it is going to be Horizon tonight and tomorrow night too. If you like Horizon, it'll be tomorrow night. Where was I up to with... Oh, jeez, really? Sorry, I've just got to very quickly look this. Yeah, it is part 20. Okay. Part 20. Yeah. So I'm really sorry about that. Yeah, no, it's just one of those things, you just got to remember all these little things all the time. So, and it is important to do this because, yeah, people, this is how people find the videos and stuff like that. Of course, you come into the channel. Yeah, that's all updated, although obviously you won't see it. You won't see it. Yeah, no, I'm generally pretty good with it, but I had some friends over before, and so once they left, I sort of just got into streaming mode, and because when I do my streams, I have to move a bunch of stuff around. I've got to move some stuff out of the way, set my laptop up, and just do a bunch of stuff. And I had some friends over, so I was sort of in a bit of a rush trying to get the stream started after they left. Am I even going the right way? Oh, yeah. Yeah, so, but, you know, it's fine. Love the way the rain makes everything look in this game. But yeah. Yeah, Bloodborne was a one-off thing for me, because, and the VOD is on the YouTube channel, which you can see that way-ish, I think it is on the video. The YouTube channel, if you want to see how bad I am at Bloodborne, it's there on my YouTube channel. I'm not going to promise... Look at it this way. I got Cleric Beast to 20%, then I decided that I didn't want to play Bloodborne anymore. So that was my Bloodborne experience last night. Anyway, oh boy, am I even prepared for this? Enough of those. I'll get some of those. Actually, Tear Blasts are really good for this guy, so I'll need Tear Blasts. Anyway, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, the game I was thinking of doing after this is... Yeah, I've been streaming. I've been streaming on and off for about 2 years, but not very regularly. Like, you know, maybe once a month, if that, sometimes. And I didn't use a camera. I only recently got a decent enough camera. In fact, even when I started streaming, I tried to stream weekly from late last year, because normally I do Let's Plays on YouTube. But this game is such a huge game to do that, and like breaking it up into half-an-hour episodes, I'd just be going for it. Okay, so hang on, I need to go there. Oh, I've got to remember how to do this. That. Whoa! Okay. Gotta knock this guy. Okay, that's the other thing I do. Break those arms off. Get up on this rock. Oh, wow, whoa, settle down. Medicine. Okay, this is going well. Actually, staying here is not a bad option. And, of course, I'm using X to roll now, which I shouldn't be doing. It's a bad idea. Yeah, my problem is I'm just not skilled with the game at all. You can probably see by how badly I'm doing here, but I'm not the greatest player in the world. You know, I try. Get up there. Stay down. Heal. That's all my healing done. Cool. Yeah, the idea with this guy is you actually shouldn't stop moving, and I completely forgot about that. Uh-oh. Oh, he's going to throw rocks at me, that's fine, I'll get up here. No, use Tear Blast, what am I doing? I know what I was doing. Oh. Got it, yes. Okay, that's that part done. So you can't go underground now. Still dive at me a lot. Oh boy. Okay, this was badly planned. I forgot how to fight these things. Okay, so there's strong fire and weak to Tear Blast, and weak to shock. Oh, jeez. Straight at me then. Where are you? Oh, I thought I'd broken that arm off. Come on. Okay, I was trying to actually hit that. I missed. Okay. That was gonna happen. Where's my checkpoint? Yeah, I mean... I had problems with it. I remember taking them on the first time. I just... In truth, I wasn't fully paying attention then. I was thinking about what I was going to say. Whoa, look at that physics. Oh, it's actually active already. The restart of the roll is active. Neat. Ow. Get up there. Okay, don't get up there. break these front arms off, and that stops it from going under. The other problem I have is that I've been playing Bayonetta and a few other games where dodge is on X, or on the equivalent of the X button if you're on a Switch controller. So I keep hitting X to dodge. Did that well. Don't break these front arms off. People like a tear blasts to do it. It knows when I stop running, I swear. Oh damn, I rolled the hell. I rolled out of it. Oh, medicine. No? Fire kill. Okay. Okay, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Anyway. Oh. It's coming at me. I think this is the first time in this game you actually have to take one of these on too. The other times you can encounter them, but you can avoid them. No, wait. Depending on the order you're doing things, there's also the quest with the king, with what's his name? The boy king. Tear blasts. I'm still not breaking that way off. How many freaking arrows does it take to do that? Oh, you know what it is? I'm missing part of it here. Maybe I should just try, hang on, it's got issues with frost. Maybe I should just try hitting some frost arrows. Let's see. Ow. Damn thing. There we go. Okay, get out of here. Problem with frost is it doesn't hit damage. It's not like fire, it just sets something on fire and it's death. I have no idea doing this. Try and hit that the carriage there with some fire. Not gonna happen. Just realized that I can probably make some potions. I probably should have got more medicine on the way here. Wrong button. Let's see if I can throw down some potions. I can make a health potion. That's enough. They give me 6 health potions, which is more than enough. Let's start by using that. Now, frost arrows. Sure, why not? Give me some tear blast. Oh no, don't do that. Don't. Oh, I'm timed that really well. I did it. Yes. Okay, we broke that armor. It's what we wanted. So now, gotta get this armor. Cool. Now we can't go. No, it's still quite much. That's fine. That miss. Oh no, oh, got hit by it. That's a good strategy. That's a winning strategy. It's a very winning strategy. I am very okay with this strategy for now. Right, okay. Frost arrows. Frost arrows? Yeah. We'll get there. Whoa! So close. So close to freezing. No! Damn it. Come on. So close. I think I broke one of its front arms. I'm not sure. Ow! All I managed to do then was annoy myself. Oh, hello. See, I couldn't take advantage of any of that frozen time. All that frozen time. Nah, that's not enough. Oh boy. Cool. Nice. Well done. This was not supposed to take this long. Oh boy. Let me have a look for better weaknesses. See, my normal strategy of setting the thing on fire until it dies isn't going to work for this guy, so... Neat. Oh, go under. Well, of course. Why would you stay on the surface when I need you?
Got it.
Yes. Right. Good. Excellent. Back to ice. Back to that. Out of my way. Oh, jeez, the hitbox on this is stupid. That'd be really cool. This thing didn't go under the exposed. Instead, no, tear blast, tear blast, tear blast, tear blast. Of course, now it's going to do this and waste all that ice out. So that's really good. Sorry, let's just make some more. Some more honey rices, so. Right, now it's ice. Now we can tear blast it. Oh no! Oh, of all the things I can get wrong now. Come on. Might as well just tear glasses. It's always worthwhile. What? No, come on. It's miles away. Still hasn't broken that other arm off. Perfect dodge. Tear blast. Seriously? Oh, come on. I hit him. Did I break it? No. Hit the leg though. So good. Take it. Come on. Seriously? No. I haven't done anything to it. Come on. Messing me around like this. We can do this. Surely. Right, now you're frozen. Tear blast that. Tear blast. Tear blast that. Air diver. Cool. Done with that? Come on, stop doing that. Wasting my time. done any actual useful damage to it. Oh, that just went badly. Cool. Yeah, these things are annoying. This wasn't supposed to take this long. Boy, this wasn't supposed to take this long. We'll get there. We'll get there. Just don't feel like I'm doing any damage to it at the moment. I just don't know why. Oh, I need to stand on a rock. It's coming. Stay still. Stay still. Stay. This is the problem. There's literally nowhere to go here. Like, there's nowhere safe to stand. I can't get up here. Maybe I can go up here. This is the problem with this this fight, is that normally you can use some safe zones with these guys. Stay up, away. But this guy you can't. I'm gonna attempt to stay still. Got it. I think I blew it off too. Can you actually climb this building at all? I can get inside it, but am I safe in here? Is this actually the safe zone? Did I miss this all? No, hit. Can you watch it go straight up? Or not? Taking this out might actually help. Broke one of the soldiers off now, so hopefully that's fine. It doesn't seem to be able to see now. That hit it. There we go. Ooh, giant rock in front of us, that'll be useful. It's going to cause a few issues. Hey, try some. That hit it? Nothing to it there. Okay, let's figure this out. It's gonna wreck this building now, isn't it? Or not? I'm seriously going to attempt. As soon as it comes back to the surface, because apparently I haven't broken its legs out yet. Seriously going to attempt to set it up. Jeez, no, it's super fire resistant. There is zero possibility of that. Frost arrows ready. Start throwing frost arrows at it. Should be good. Where is it? Over there. Problem is it stays down for ages if you can't get the frost damage off on it. That's throwing rocks at it. Tear blast. Let's get this tear blast up. Just gotta hit that leg. Got it. Think we got it? Now it should be able to go on that. Okay, so I can actually get hit through the walls now. Oh, you know what? I need precision. Okay, so it can do that. That's a problem. That's quite the problem. But that went better. But boy, am I not prepared for this fight. How to do this? This shouldn't be taking this long. I really didn't expect this to be half an hour fighting this thing. It's definitely not fun to see. Oh, away, come on. Get away from me. Okay. Oh, don't go on that. I didn't know it could charge you through that. That's that. Nope, that didn't do what I wanted. Come on. precision on this. More precision on this. Oh, did I not break one of his legs off? I thought I had. I thought I'd broken both of them. Mustn't have. Certainly broken them. This was a bad idea. He's kind of firing an arrow at it. Oh well. We're getting there. We're getting there. Just need to break those bloody legs off it. I thought I'd broken. Just put some tear blast. Let's go. Let's go. Where's it surfacing there? Okay, so it's this leg. I don't think I've broken it yet. That should be it. Okay, now it can't go underground. So, time for precision on this. It's under the line. That was quite dangerous. It is, however, now on fire. Right, out of here. Oops. Okay, it's very... Okay, this is probably yeah. Okay, we're so close now. Let's not wreck this. That's so much damage. One more good hit like that. Oh. There we go. Nice. Good work. Good work. Good work. Oh boy, that was rough. Okay, but we did it. Let's get our sweet loot. Geez, that's alright. Hand of corruption coil. Hand of crystal braiding. That's really handy. Got a lot of good stuff there. Oh, geez, that was quite the effort. But yeah, that was the correct way to do it. Now we can go on with something else. Oh man, oh boy. Yeah, I didn't expect to spend like the best part of an hour just trying to beat that guy. Yeah, I'm gonna stop that merchant while we're here too. And talk to the quest giver. Where did the quest giver go? There, that's right.
Quite a show.
I've never seen a machine like that. Whoa! Nor a hunter so bold. Take this. It's from the quarry stores, but no one's gonna argue that you don't deserve it. May you walk in the light, friend. Especially when dealing with what comes up from the ground.
This isn't up to their usual standard.
Go to mother. Nope. Go to merchant guy over here. Wrong button. Let's just sell off some stuff just to free up that inventory space. And we'll sell things that are only to be sold for metal shards. Okay, I think that's everything actually. Yeah. Yeah, it's about everything. I've got sparkers and all sorts of stuff out the wazoo at the moment, so we're pretty fine there. Yeah, I've got all those modifications. Outfits, weapons, yeah, that's fine. I don't need to buy anything either. I've got everything I need. I do have some treasure boxes to open up though. Okay, apparently I can't open that one because I don't have the shock traps. Nice, neat. Okay, cool.
This'll last.
Okay, where are we off to now? Now, one thing worth mentioning, I think I forgot to mention this before. No, I have mentioned this before. Is that there is, I think it's this place here. There's a settlement here with some quests that we haven't done yet as well. I think we will get there eventually. I don't think we need to panic too much about that. But for now, we're actually going to head back to Pitch Cliff, which we went to a while ago, quite a few streams ago actually, because we had to do some stuff. So I'm going to head that way. I'm going to try and grab a bunch of medicine on the way, because I need the medicine. Anyway, before we got deeply into that, there was a couple of things I was talking about. One, yeah, I've only recently started streaming nightly, about 3 weeks ago. So I'm still trying to, establish myself and get everything set up and all that. The other, I should talk about this, is what I'm going to stream after Horizon Zero Dawn. Because we are rapidly approaching the end of this game, and I do, oh boy. Oh no, they're all on my side, it's all good. And I've been giving this some thought, and I narrowed it down to about 2 different things. And the first of those different things was what was the first one? Oh no, I was considering a fair few different things. I think in my head I had in mind the idea that I might do that's not what I wanted. I might do Bayonetta and Bayonetta 2. And I might still go for Bayonetta and Bayonetta 2, like they're really good choices. But they're also games I can stretch out over like multiple Sundays if I want to do Sunday night streams as well, which I generally do. I do stream on a Sunday, and I like to keep that a bit different to everything else. But it might be that we just do a full Bayo LP on a Sunday night every week for a while until we get through them all. So with that in mind, I was thinking that the other LP I would do, let's just try and snap that. And the other LP I would do would be, well, I was deciding between 2 things. One was Mass Effect Andromeda, because I feel like having LP'd the Mass Effect games years ago on my YouTube channel should complete the set. And Andromeda is a game that I think is unfairly reviled. It had problems, yes, especially when it launched, but it's a lot of those problems were fixed in post-release patches, and it's a lot better now. It's also not a terrible game. Mass Effect Andromeda's greatest crime is the fact that it's called Mass Effect Andromeda. If it had been called anything else, if it had been stripped of its Mass Effect ties, it would have probably been a bit better received, but because it's tied to a series that is revered among gamers, because it's one of the best video game trilogies in terms of its overarching story, and whether or not you feel the game
Stocking up.
dropped the ball a little bit in the 3rd installment, or however you feel about that ending or whatever, you cannot deny the fact that you got 3 of the best 30-hour gaming experiences that have ever come out of Electronic Arts, and for that matter a major AAA publisher. And that is really significant. Mass Effect 2 is especially just out and out one of the best games of all time. Right, like that's not even, I don't even think that's up for debate. Mass Effect 2 is just a phenomenal game. The original Mass Effect, I think I said this actually when I did my LPs of it, that I actually, of the three games, the one I like the most, if I had to pick a favourite, is actually Mass Effect 1. But I fully understand and recognise that Mass Effect 2 is the better game, and the reason I like 1 more is because it's the game I have more of an attachment to. It was the game that I had more of a formative association with than Mass Effect 3. So that's why... that's where I stand on Mass Effect, and that's why I picked Mass Effect 1 as my favourite. All that said, Mass Effect Andromeda is... yeah, definitely one of the great sort of holy grails of video gaming in a lot of ways. Oh, sorry, the Mass Effect series is one of the great sort of holy sort of series of video games. It is a lot of gamers have a strong attachment to. I mean, if you saw me on Twitter today, you would have seen how passionate I got about Garrus, who is straight up one of my all-time favourite video game characters. In fact, what I really wish could happen is that there was a video game and it was just Aloy and Garrus going around like this universe and that universe and just like being awesome and cool, and that would be the best video game. And the argument I was making on Twitter today was that there just need to be more video games with Garrus in them. Like every game EA releases from here on out should just have Garrus in it, like Madden, FIFA, the basketball ones they do, Battlefield, everything should just be Garrus. Right? The next Need for Speed game should just be Need for Garrus. Right? So everything should just be straight Garrus, all the time. Right? That's how much I like Garrus. So, anyway, Mass Effect Andromeda comes into the world with that attached to it. And that's a problem for a game that doesn't come close to the original trilogy in terms of storytelling. Doesn't have any of the original trilogy's characters in it. But it is a game that tries to do some really interesting things, I think. And it doesn't succeed at all of them, but it doesn't fail at all of them either. It gets some things right, it gets some things wrong. It actually does have some cool characters, some really neat, interesting characters. One of which is a character that, when I first encountered her, there's a character in the game called PB. And when I first encountered PB, I had a really weird moment. This is going to take a little bit of explaining, but when I was a very small child, I had a stuffed bear, and it was a bear of the mascot from the Moscow Olympics in 1980, which was a mascot called Misha, I believe was the name of the bear at the time. And I couldn't really say the word Misha when I was a very small child, so instead I called it PB. So, all my life, PB has had an association with this particular bear from the Moscow Olympics. And when I play Mass Effect Andromeda, I come across a character called PB. So you can imagine the weirdness that occurs when this happens for me. But yeah, Mass Effect Andromeda was one of the games. It wasn't the only one though. The other game, and the one I'm actually very likely going to do more than Andromeda, is Mirror's Edge Catalyst. And again, there's some really interesting stuff with Mirror's Edge. Mirror's Edge, by the way, the original, is straight up one of my favourite video games of all time. And like a lot of the video games I really like, I don't like it specifically because I think it's actually a great game. I like it for what it presents. A lot of my favourite video games are games that I can see through the flaws to the ambition, the effort that went in to create something that wasn't necessarily usual. And I'm quite willing to give a game a pass on execution if I think that it's bringing something to gaming that wasn't there before. For example, my favourite all-time video game is Shenmue. Shenmue is a game that I played when I was at, I think, about the right age for a game like Shenmue to be at. I was in my
Keep
early
that for
20s,
later.
I think, and I played it. It had only been out a year when I played it, and it gave me something that I'd never experienced in a game before that point. It gave me this, what I call it these days, my Shenmue feeling, right? Like, it's a game that every time I play a video game ever since, and in fact, it's because of Shenmue that I really enjoy playing open world games, because it was the game that showed me that video games didn't just have to be these linear progressions from start to finish. Now, keep in mind that I never had a PC growing up, so I never played a lot of PC games, and I know there's a lot of PC games. Like, I missed a lot of those great late 90s PC RPGs. I missed Baldur's Gate, Icewind Dale, Planescape Torment. I didn't get into them at the time. I got into them years later. I've played Planescape Torment. It is another of my favourite games of all time. But Shenmue was the first game that showed me the video game could be a whole world. Now, I had played Ocarina of Time before that, and Ocarina of Time is flat out one of my favourite video games of all time as well. There's quite a few of them. I have a small list. You know, it's not every game. But Ocarina of Time didn't give me the feeling Shenmue gave me, and I'm not sure why. I think maybe because Ocarina, a little bit more primitive, a little bit less, I don't want to say less good, but because it's not less good, but I think what does it for Shenmue is Shenmue presents a world that is our world. It presents a place and a time that is recognisably ours, which is something that Ocarina of Time does not do. Ocarina of Time is very much a living, breathing world. It's the first video game I ever played with a functioning day-night cycle, for example. You know, so it's certainly doing a lot right, but it doesn't have that real world that Shenmue has. Like, Shenmue is set in a particular place in Japan at a particular time, right? It's 1987 in, is it Fukuoka? Is the name of the city? Yeah. And you get this, and the idea of Shenmue as well, I think this is the other important thing with Shenmue, and it's something that open world games since haven't quite, I don't want to say they haven't quite built on, because I think quite a few of them have, but not in the way Shenmue does. Shenmue is a game that is very much intended for you to take at a very, very specific pace. Like, you can say that it's a game you can take at your own pace, but I like to think that more it's a game that you should take at the developer intended pace. And by that I mean, the developers don't want you can blast through Shenmue in a fairly short period of time. It's not a long game if you start it and just follow the story from start to finish and don't do anything else. But it's not intended for you to do that. Shenmue is a game where you're intended to live in the worlds and go through daily motions and do all this stuff and peek at the main story here and there, right? It doesn't expect you to do all the main story in the start. And in fact, it doesn't really discourage you, but you are not getting the best experience of the game if you blast through it, is the way I would say that. Like, you're not discouraged from doing that, but at the same time, it's probably not the best way to do the game either.
Glenn talks.
That's
This must be
where
pitch fresh.
Shenmue is unique, I think. Anyway, the long and short of all that is that Shenmue is the game that made me understand open worlds in video games. Even though Shenmue is very different to what we consider an open world game, I think Grand Theft Auto 3, for example, probably set a more direct example of what modern open world games are like. But I would not consider Grand Theft Auto 3 to be a game that would even rank in my favourite games of all time. Mostly because I've never actually played it. And it just never interested me as a video game. That said, I played a lot of the Grand Theft Auto games, just not that one. I didn't get into the series till fairly later. Oh, don't fight. So it's gonna take out this. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Settle down, settle down, settle down. Okay, let's sit down. Drop green. Flint ball points, nice. Good work. And where's the other one? There it is, up this guy there. So, oh, this one's going fully on fire with one eye. I don't know if it's the 3 arrow chains. Oh, just missed it. Nice. I don't think that affects the damage either, it just affects how quickly it goes. Oh, what happened there? Actually got physically attacked by that. I think you might only have this one to do. This might actually be the last of them. Lots of bones down.
Here's a shot for you.
Yay, we did it. Kill the Green Hawks. Let's go talk
What
to
made these
people.
Glinthawks attack? I better speak to whoever's in charge.
Let's loot the Green Hawks first, though.
Dang.
Anyway, as I was saying,
It's the third flock we
yeah,
faced
the
today.
Grand Theft Auto games, I actually played them and liked them, but they never gave me that feeling I got from Shenmue. Again, the game that came closest was the original Yakuza on PS2, which is no surprise given that a lot of people who developed Shenmue went on to develop Yakuza, and it's probably the closest thing the world got for a long time to a third Shenmue title. But Yakuza is a wildly different game to Shenmue. It's a completely different kind of game in a lot of ways, but it still has that time and place aspect that Shenmue has that made me really like Shenmue.
Any one of us could have died.
So, getting back to where I was talking about before, about my favourite games of all time. So, Mirror's Edge, now, it took me a while the first time I did this to actually figure out where the hell you're supposed to go, but you've got to climb this ladder here. Anyway, I'll talk to this guy now, I'll get back to this.
You just flew in on a rainbow and saved our sorry slags. Where do you come from?
A man named Hackard outside the village warned me.
Traitor! I ordered him to stay put. I'll throw him in irons.
He's dead.
What? That scorched out, filthy, rotten dirtwad of a brother. Why didn't he listen? Why?
He was worried you and the entire town would be killed. Do you have any idea what could be drawing the Glinthawks?
Okay.
Has anyone come trying to sell lures? They're devices that attract machines.
Is that real? Is that some sort of Nora joke?
I'll take that as a no. Has anything changed that might have lured the Glinthawks? Have you left machine scrap lying around?
No. Us around use our scrap. Not like the Carger. They only keep the pretty parts.
So the Karja have been leaving scrap around.
Here? Never. If a Karja wasted scrap on my watch, I'd pick it up and make him eat it.
Why do you think the Karja have anything to do with the Glinthawks?
We built this outpost to protect against the Karja. Now they're coming here to trade. Fine. Their shards are as good as anyone's. But everyone knows that they want this place. Come to think of it, they want every place.
But how could the Karja have brought on the Glinthawks?
If I ever get a break from him, I'll see if I can spare a man to follow the trail. Guaranteed, there's a Carja at the other end.
What exactly do you do here?
I'm the mayor. Mostly because I was too drunk to say no when my brother asked me. Tell me where he is, and I'll lay him to rest once we get these glint hogs to flock off.
You'll find him due south of here, along the river.
Damn that fool. That bum. That lunkhead. Thank you for being with him at the end.
Why don't I investigate why the Glinthawks are attacking? You've got your hands full.
Really? No one ever offers to help me. You, any good at tracking?
You could say that.
All right, then. Let me know what you find. Hammer to steel, a Carja's behind all this.
Okay. So, back to Mirror's Edge. Mirror's Edge didn't give me that feeling Shenmue gave me. Right.
Turn off! Turn off!
Hello.
What are you doing?
By the sun! It won't turn off!
That device is making the Glinthawks attack. Turn it off.
Me? I don't know how to turn it off any more than I know how I turned it on. I scrounged it from an old workshop.
Well, that should do it. Now start talking. Why are you scrounging gear you don't even understand?
My customers demand extraordinary pieces best found at the fringes of civilization. My tales of adventure only increase their value. Where others only dare tread, I flourish. No mountain climbs too high that I can't mount it. My trade demands sacrifice.
Including the sacrifice of innocence? Those Glinthawks swooped down and attacked everyone.
I didn't mean for that to happen. I sought only to sate the appetites of rich nobles who never leave their mansions.
You mentioned you found the device in a workshop?
Yes. I camped out atop the snowy eastern ridge. No easy climb, even in my best years. But I girded my...
Enough. Were there any other devices at this workshop?
abandoned equipment, the likes of which I've never seen. A peculiar silo remained impervious to my attempts to open it. As I searched, I wondered how many secrets lie hidden in this world, as we, in our ignorance, go about our daily...
Your point?
Oh, no, I didn't see another device. But one could still be there, waiting to unleash its horrors.
Did you know this whole time that that device was luring Glinthawks?
By the sun, no! I stashed it here for a while, but when I came back, I was nearly beheaded by one of those flying terrors.
This device is dangerous. I have to find that workshop and make sure it's the last. Where is it?
On the eastern ridge, just beyond my campsite. But after I descended from the workshop, a cracking above me signaled my doom. I dove into the river mere moments before an avalanche took out the path. You can't reach it now. The climb is too perilous.
I'll take my chances. You just stay away from that workshop and try not to cause another mess.
Right, okay. I just want to check something. It's just something that I realized. Let me have a look at the visual settings here. Okay, cool. I can favor resolution or performance. What do I get if I switch that over to favor resolution for the moment?
That car just said the workshop was near his campsite.
So the reason I was
Eastern
doing that was I
Ridge.
wanted to see if that would trigger the PS4 super sampling mode, but obviously this game, because it already super samples because it's doing that now, isn't triggering that. So maybe if I have it in the other mode, that's better. Yeah, so these are the things I think about when I play this game. When I sit in cutscenes. But that and when I was talking about Mirror's Edge and Shenmue. Mirror's Edge. Right, so Mirror's Edge. Let's talk about Mirror's Edge. So Mirror's Edge is a game like Shenmue where I like it more for what it's trying to do rather than what it is. It's a fairly short first-person parkour / running game, but it has just one of the best aesthetic designs of any video game. I love the way it looks. It's like, yes, this is a totalitarian fascist city, but boy, is it a nice-looking place to live. And that was what sold me on the original. That and that magnificent theme song they associate with it, the Still Alive by Lisa Makovsky. Those were the things that sold me on Mirror's Edge. I don't know if you remember the E3 trailer, the original E3 trailer that game had. Boy, was that a nice trailer. Anyway, that was what sold me on Mirror's Edge. And when the game came out, I was pretty satisfied with it. I was not disappointed with that game. I've played it many, many times over the years, but it was very definitely a game that never felt like it was going to get a sequel, even though there were rumours of a sequel. And the interesting thing with that is that even if it never felt like it was getting a sequel, I'm going to override this guy. I think so we can start a little bit of a battle here. Yeah, good work. Just to create a bit of distraction while we keep going up here. Yep, there we go. So yeah, Mirror's Edge, going the right way. I've branched slightly. Whoa, go away. This way.
Just stay out of their way for now.
That's all we need to do. Just cross these cold, wet rocks. How cold everything here looks. And like Mirror's Edge is just the gorgeous aesthetic that the game has. Oh, did my stream mess up just what? Oops, sorry about that. Just noticed a little bit of a dip in that. That'll happen sometimes, unfortunately. Let's just make it action. But anyway, so when they announced that they were getting a sequel, not only that it was going to have an open world, which
For later.
is, let's face it, like the one thing the original game really needed to be great is an open world. I was very excited. Unfortunately, Mirror's Edge Catalyst is, like the original Mirror's Edge, a game that tries for more than it succeeds at. Unlike the original Mirror's Edge, though, it didn't have Rhiannon Pratchett writing a perfectly perfunctory story that hits everything it needs to make the game work without getting in the way. Mirror's Edge Catalyst's biggest weakness is that its story is not great. It's got some pretty dull characters. What they did with Faith was, I actually, you know what? I didn't mind Faith in Mirror's Edge Catalyst. I thought it was an okay reimagining, because Mirror's Edge Catalyst is essentially a reboot of the story. It bears no resemblance or relationship to the original game. But that said, it doesn't really reach the dizzy heights of the first game's story. And if you know what the first game's story is like, you'll know they weren't particularly dizzy heights. Catalyst just has some really dumb characters and some dumb stuff happens. But that said, Catalyst builds on that gorgeous aesthetic. It looks great. It's got the open world happening. Oh boy, that's going to be a problem when we get to it. It's got that beautiful open world happening. It looks great. The running in the parkour is still pretty good, and if it wasn't for the bad story, I think a lot of people like mine. I remember I actually got a review code for it, and reviewed it for Rocket Chainsaw. I remember giving it 3 stars, which is basically a 6 out of 10 for us. And, you know, 6 out of 10 is above average. You know, in my internal review system, which is actually just the classical Edge review system, because I decided when I was a teenager that was how I was going to score things. It's above
Here's
average.
the Scrounger's
you know,
campsite, so the workshop can't be far.
and that's
If I
fine.
can find a way around the
That's
avalanche.
perfectly okay. It's just not a game that really set the world on fire, and unfortunately, it's also not a game that gained the cult following that the original Mirror's Edge had. Which I think is a little bit of a shame, because I think, in a lot of ways, the original Mirror's Edge is more or less a 6 out of 10 game too. Like, as much as I love it, I accept that it's very short. Its story is, as I said before, kind of perfunctory. And it is definitely a game that you need to... is this right? Am I going the right way? Yeah. No. You can go that way. You can actually jump across the chasm there and go that way for bonus cool points if you want. But you don't have to. Which is neat, actually. I like that you can go both ways. Actually, maybe I do have to. Oh yeah, because I need to get up there, don't I? Yeah, no, we do. I forgot that. Because you actually have to go this way so I can get up to here. Yep, okay. No. Oh. That's right, yes. Yep, I remember. This view though, God's this view. Actually, that view. And once we come up over here, an even better view. Oh, hello. Just gonna go this way so you can see this gorgeous view. Speaking of games that are gorgeous. In fact, now that I think about it, one of the things I love about Horizon again is this general aesthetic. And, oh jeez, foggy morning view. We're in cold country up here. Beautiful, beautiful cold country. So. I'm gonna get the override. And yeah, Catalyst is, I think, a game that is overlooked, and I feel like by doing Catalyst instead of the original game, which is a game I love and can gush over, I can gush over the original game and that might actually be more interesting to watch. And I also think that a lot of people didn't play Catalyst. Gives me a bit of an advantage in terms of doing a game that probably not many people really know about. I think just kill this one. I might just kill this one. Nice, good work.
Rare part.
I can override these things. If I can get close enough. If I can get close enough. Whoa, what are you doing? Should I just wait for it to patrol back around? I should wait for it to patrol back around here. Is that what it's going to do? It's, it's going to come back around here. I don't think I've ever overridden a buyback before. Solves a lot of problems for us, but yeah, it's the first time I've ever actually done an override in one of these places.
Snowfall. Getting colder.
So, yeah, Catalyst is a game I think is
I'll better look at
underrated,
that Stormo here.
but well, no,
If I
it's
find
not
any and destroy
underrated.
them,
Catalyst
the
is
machine
not
should
a
leave.
great game, and it doesn't have the things that made the original Mirror's Edge a cult game. But in my heart, Catalyst is possibly slightly better in terms of the way it plays than the original. The combat feels a little bit neater. Oh boy. Guess what we've got to do? Actually, get back in that stealth grass. Sit here and wait. Whoa! Okay, so Stormbirds are not going to live. Then going to... Oh, that's right, you can do a thing here. Yes, I can examine this and dismantle it. And there's 4 of these. If I dismantle more, it will actually make that Stormbird go away. Alternatively, I can kill the Stormbird, but I think... This is the second one.
Machine's quick.
Is there actually one where we do this? I think we do this after. Yeah, it's the third one. So you can either disable the rules or kill the Stormbird. It's not a... There it is, there's the one. So that will actually cause that Stormbird to go away. I believe I don't need to kill the Stormbird now. Maybe I do still need to deal with that. Well, we'll just sit under here for a moment and see what happens.
Done.
Yeah.
No more lures.
So you don't
Now
actually have
about
to
this workshop.
kill the Stormbird here. You can just disable the lures and wait for it to bugger off. So while that's there, we need to inspect the
So
notes.
Dervahl was behind these lures. Brilliant. And dangerous. Now to bring word back to Pitchcliff.
Pitchcliff. Yay, tattered letter. So that's that done, and we can head home. And the good news for us is there is a nice convenient path back down the mountain. Because of course there is. Gets us back here, and we can just easily come back down. So yeah, Catalyst feels like it might be the next game I go for after this, because I think that it's I think that I've got things to say about Catalyst is I think the best way to explain it. I have thoughts and feelings about Mirror's Edge Catalyst. I'm going the wrong way. And the best way for me to express those thoughts and feelings is to play the bloody game. And at the same time, I might just, give people an idea of it and what it involves, what it entails, and how good it is, because it's a good game. No, it's an okay game. Let's not get into about Catalyst. It's a game that has its moments.
Never know when I might need these.
It doesn't have anything like the crane crossing scene in the original Mirror's Edge. If you remember the legend of Cobra. Where'd it go? Should say. Do need to heal up. Are they attacking those guards? They must be. That's fine. That's all good. Anyway, yeah, so that's my reasoning for wanting to do Catalyst. It took me an hour and a half to explain it, but we got there in the end. Not sure if this stream's been more about this game or it's been about Mirror's Edge Catalyst. As an aside, when I talk about that that open world, that Shenmue feeling, this game did give it to me as well. When I first started playing it, I realised just how big this game was going to be. You know, I felt pretty good about it. It's a good game. And this game, like Mirror's Edge, well, no, not like Mirror's Edge. Like, Mirror's Edge is a game that has a cult following because as flawed as it is, it's got something in it. This game, I feel like is... No, it's sold well enough, it's not going to be a cult game.
You'll be happy to know I found another one of those lures and destroyed it. Should be the last you'll hear of it.
By fire and spit, you went above and beyond. How do you know there won't be any more?
The workshop where I found it was long abandoned. You're safe.
Good. My troops want to spit and shake your hand, as my brother would have. On behalf of Pitchcliff and my family, I thank you.
Excellent. So that's that side quest out of the way. I think that's all the side quests we've got to do before we do the Heart of the Nora. We are not going to do the Heart of the Nora tonight. We are going to travel there tonight. That's
only hear about the Nora back in the claim.
So we're going to start making our way there, but this will be tomorrow night. Tomorrow night's stream is what this will be when we do Heart of the Nora, and depending on what the next story quest after that
Wasn't sure about the sun.
it might also be when we start doing Frozen Wilds, and getting that out of the way. Because we haven't done Frozen Wilds yet. I've been saving that for, well, when I was level 30 actually, but I'm, level 34 now, so we're about the right level to do it. But yeah, for the moment we're going to make our way over. We're just going to spend the rest of this stream just wandering towards the Heart of the Nora quest, because fast travel is for wimps. And people who don't need to fill out sections of time on a stream so that they can be ready to do it tomorrow night, because they actually don't want to stop streaming just yet, like me right now. So I feel I want to just keep streaming.
These are helpful.
I feel good about streaming time. I feel a lot better about this than I do about Bloodborne. Ah, boy, one day. You know what I'll do with Bloodborne? I will actually sit down and play through it myself, and I will get good at it myself, and then I will come back and I will stream it, and I will smash it. It will beat every boss, one attempt. Or I could just stream Bayonetta. Maybe Bayonetta might be our Sunday night stream for a while. I've been thinking like I should have variety night on at least one night a week, like Sunday. And I've kind of been committing myself to Monster Hunter World on Thursday nights at the moment, but I think I'm probably going to stop doing that and just do Monster Hunter World when I feel like it on stream. Because Monster Hunter World's a game I just play whenever I just feel like having a controller in my hand and playing something. I don't play it for any specific reason, at least Olympics. Because it's just a game I like to play. Oh, good, actually. Yeah, okay, cool. I'm pretty happy with where the game's going to take us here. I was hoping this would happen, actually, and I wasn't going to have to go out of my way to get the thing I want to get. It'll become clear very shortly what I mean by that. Now, Sleepwalkers though.
Helpful.
Just gonna run. I'm not gonna run loud. Don't need to. Not going to. Look at this gorgeous mountain that's surrounding me. You know, if this game were 10 years old, all of that distance would just be a JPEG. Maybe 50. If it was a PS2 game, it would definitely be a JPEG. But this is one of those games that you couldn't do on a PS2. I mean, you could probably implement it on a PS3, but with a much more limited scope. You would have to you wouldn't have the graphical detail for a start. You probably need to make the world a bit smaller,
This'll help.
I guess. Like, you could do this on a PS3, just not to this extent, but on a PS2 you would be very stretched.
Save me, please! I praise the sun every day!
Well then, Solaire. Wow, guys, this thing's on fire, right? I don't want to do it. This guy's just going to set himself up. Do not. Run. That's good for me because it means I can get the override off. Right off. I thought that would be fine to do, but apparently I don't. No, I'm just gonna find this stuff nice here. And then we're just going to stealth our way this way. Good. Good work. Used way too much medicine on that. Oh wow, it's actually still looking for me. Oh, we want to go that way, do we? Yeah, we do. Yeah. Yeah, this game is possible on a PS3, just not to the scope and size that it is now. Like, I think there was a point, probably the start of the PS3, Xbox 360 generation actually, where games consoles reached a sort of level of power where anything you wanted to bring to life, you could effectively bring to life. And you might need to, limit yourself. I mean, the big restriction you had with the PS3 and the Xbox 360 was that those consoles were extremely limited on RAM, even at the time they came out. Like, they both had 512 megabytes of RAM, and that was at a time when most computers were hitting 2 or 4 gigabytes of RAM. So they had basically a quarter of the RAM of any decent gaming PC at the time. And it always struck me as really strange too. The other thing that I always found really strange with those consoles, the PS3 and 360, was that neither of them had, they still had what are called fixed function GPUs, where some aspects of the GPU are essentially fixed in hardware. And not long before, I think it was before the 360, around the time the 360 came out, Nvidia brought out the 8800, the GTX 8800 GeForce, which was the first fully programmable GPU. And I thought it was really strange that Microsoft specifically, not so much Sony, because I think the GPU in the PS3 is... Now, I've always believed the GPU in the PS3 is derived from a 7800. Which is the generation before the 8800, but maybe with some 8800 features, so it's a bit more flexible than a 7800 would be. But the PS3 has other problems. The 360 had some AMD GPU, I think. The Xenos GPU. Here we go.
Appreciated the steel in that Nora girl.
What are you talking about? Oh, okay, yeah. This is the place I wanted to get to, by the way, just before. This was the town I was talking about that I was thinking that we might have to go out of our way to get here. But
They must be Osram. They've put their stamp on this
it's a
place.
free heap, and there is a good quest line here. So this is where we're going to probably spend a bit of time doing it. There's a briefish quest line here, and it's what we're actually going to do before we do the Nora stuff. So.
Well, well. Always told Derval a woman would undo him, and he had it coming. I've calluses older than you.
I have calluses enough if you want to test me.
She sparks. I believe it, Flamehair. Petra Forge woman.
Aloy. Machine hunter.
Machine hunter, eh? Huh. I could have a use for you. Straight of it is, we're being muscled out of our own claim. That's why I've been working on this scrap-spitting beast. It's a dispute settler.
What is this place, Petra?
The Free Heap. Free because we answer to no one but ourselves, the metal, and the dust storms. And the heap's back there. A scrapyard, piled by Osram past, from the leavings of the old ones. Breathe it in. Get the smell in you.
Smoke. And sweat.
Living in the trees has dulled your senses. I can taste 5 metals just in my spit.
So all this scrap was left by the ancients. Was it a battlefield?
Stockpile maybe, or a rubbish heap. Packed so tight it all fused together. Those old ones tossed away more than we'll ever know.
Where's my controller gone? Oh, there we go. The problem was I was using the D-pad.
But don't you want to know? To understand what it all meant?
Nah. Some delvers spend their whole lives trying to make sense of it. Not me. What it means is there's good smelting here. Yeah, don't need to understand a forest to chop down the trees for your arrows.
If you did, you'd know Ridgewood makes better shafts.
Careful, you'll scald your tongue with that fire. I don't pine for the old ones. They had their time. Their works are finished. All their inventions are under mountains now, rust on bones. My sisters and brothers of the Forge will make a new world.
So you're a Forge woman. You run the Forge and the town too.
The town is the Forge, and everyone pulls their weight. The right way to do it, without all the Eildermen having their say. If we were back in the claim, Osram land, 3 days argument anytime someone wants to hammer in a bolt.
Sounds infuriating.
Oh, it is. But we like arguing. You need hot air to keep a furnace burning. Still, some traditions aren't up for debate. I would have ended up Petra Forge wife. How do you like the sound of that?
I don't think it fits you.
Good answer. That's why I left. I was still young from the Forge then. Could make anything of myself before I cooled in my ways.
So you left your homeland and came here?
Went to Meridian. Everyone does. Joined the work gangs on the Great Elevator. We finished just as the Mad King got a taste for blood. So I spat and swore I'd find a place for everyone who stuck with me. We lived job to job until the war ended. Then we came upon this old Osram camp. Long abandoned, metal piled up high. A place to start again. A place to leave my mark. When I was your age, I thought the lasting mark came from the hardest strike.
I suppose you know better now that you're an elder.
Trade secret.
This weapon you're working on, I've never seen anything like it. Your design?
See my face in it, can you? This one's mother helped reclaim Meridian back in the day. A job like that isn't done with strategy. They needed to shake the walls, turn the Mad Sun King's army to blood and feathers. What's that face for?
Weapons with such power.
It's not the weapon, Flamehair, it's the wielder. If that siege had touched the Great Elevator, they'd have answered to me. Good work, that elevator. Story in every chain link. I'll make you suffer them one day if you like. This beast doesn't have a story yet. Too heavy to carry, eats metal like a snap maw.
You said you're being pushed out of your territory.
Out of the junk heap. A pack of scrappers came snuffling in just after we opened a good seam of weapon parts. And now we've got a standoff with a gang of bandits at our foundry. They blockaded us out. They're sitting on our power cells. Guess they like shiny things. Well, to finish up our defenses, I need those parts and cells. In and out job. Keep your hands clean.
I'm not afraid of getting them dirty.
Aren't you a blast of air from the bellows?
Okay. Just making sure everything's working on the stream. It's being a little bit temperamental at the moment from the look of it. That will be my internet connection. No, it's looking good. Okay. Obviously, it's just my my internet connection on the downside, not the upside, so that's fine. I really should record these streams separately sometimes, though. Anyway, why can't I... Okay, there we go. Search supply crate. Metal shards. Nice. Okay, so that's Petra. We met Petra earlier when we were doing the Derval, the stuff revolving around Derval. Which we've actually also come from doing another thing that Derval left behind. He was obviously that guy that we dealt with.
That's how you
Yeah, the guy that tried to blow up Meridian that we dealt with. So he was a cool guy, and we encountered Petra at some point in that quest, I think. Oh god, it's been a long time, I can't remember. Anyway, Heap of Trouble is what we're going to be doing right now, or... you know what, actually, judging by the time and the fact that I am starting to feel like I need a bit of a rest.
Is it just me, or do Karja people walk?
I think we're going to save this, because this is going to take a while. We've got to do a lot of stealthing around up through there, so this is going to be what we come back to tomorrow night. I think maybe the best way to do
and I
this.
know how to put them to use. There'll always be work for me.
So, just quick save there, and then we're going to leave Horizon Zero Dawn 4 tonight, but I will be back with more of it tomorrow. We'll get the rest of this quest line done, because it's really good. Petra's a great character, and it's not a long quest, but it is really fun. We eventually, that gun that we're talking about, we eventually get to use it, and it's quite good. So that will be for tomorrow night, though, because yeah, it's getting late, and I need to sleep.
People of the sun know they can count.
Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow night with that, so I'll just pause the game. That's the best thing to do there. Just hit that button. So, yeah, tomorrow night, and I'll remember to update all the information on the stream down there and stuff. So, yeah, okay, that's tonight done. I'll see you all tomorrow night with more Horizon Zero Dawn. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you all then.